Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. We are back once again with the Pro Wrestling Spotlights presents Tru Heel Heat 75. On
Woo,
this
God
edition,
damn.
I
Right?
know, I know,
God
right?
damn.
75. Are you sure?
Yes, I am. On this edition of Tru Heel Heat, we're going to be discussing Drew Gulak's contract with WWE expiring, him joining the long list of WWE superstars no longer with the company in 2020. We're going to be talking about the Twitter war between Leo Rush and Mark Henry. Of course, we got to break down week 32 of the Wednesday Night War with all the ratings and what we thought was the better show for the week. But unfortunately, we have to start the show with a little bit of somber news. Of course, if you are among the wrestling world, among the wrestling community, among the wrestling family, we had a very, very tragic loss this week. Shad Gaspard, the former WWE superstar, one half of the WWE tag team known as Crime Time, probably one of the more popular tag teams from the Ruthless Aggression era. Chad was caught in a riptide on Sunday after going for a swim with his son at Venice Beach. Lifeguard and rescuers went to save him, and Chad instead pushed his son to safety, basically getting the rescuers to save his son from the water. The water engulfed him from there. It was a couple of days of searching among rescuers as well as the police, but unfortunately, his body was found around 1 a.m. on Wednesday morning. Chad leaves behind his wife, Selena, and his son, Ari. We want to send out our deepest condolences and prayers to Chad's family and especially his friends among the WWE community as well as outside the WWE community. Uh, Miss Krssi Love, I'll kick it over to you first. Of course, we got to introduce my co-host, Miss Krssi Love, the princess of all the Tru Heels, our resident Tru Heel alcoholic, top guy JJ. But I wanted to get this out in the open. You don't want to kill the lead, but we got to talk about this, guys. You know, remembering such a great superstar who really went out as a hero, went out and gave up his life for his son. So we got to talk about that first. Miss Krssi Love, your thoughts.
Um, Again, my condolences and prayers go out to his family. 2020 sucks, yo. Sucks ass, man. Like this year, like it's just not just with Chad. It's just like it's just the whole thing. Just throw it all in the trash, yo. It's so sad, and he did like you did what any parent would do is what they would save their child before they even care about themselves, and that's what any parent would do. And it's unfortunate that he went out as a hero. He saved his child's life. He wanted to make sure that his child would still be here. Sad that he's no longer here. He's going to be truly, truly missed. He is such a sweet guy, and I'm truly going to miss him. And it's unfortunate of what happened. And again, my prayers and condolences go to his family.
Top guy JJ.
This sucked. Like this we always this sucked. I mean,
Yeah.
because he was one of the guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was just one of the fellas. Like if you didn't know about his character, his mystique, or what he was as a WWE superstar with Crime Time, with his partner JTG, him stepping outside of his WWE career, still keeping his name, himself very relevant, still looked great.
Mm-hmm.
He you saw him, he was just one of the fellas. He was literally just one of the fellas, and he just connected with anybody that he touched like that. It was
Mm-hmm.
He was such a gem for us wrestling fans when we went to any type of, like, when you go to shows, there's always somebody that stands out at being the coolest dude that you met. It might not have been your favorite wrestler, but they have been the coolest person. And he was one of the coolest, like, most easygoing guys you'd ever meet for somebody being such a star. And he was just such a good guy. And it's like, there's times where it's like you want to ask why, but it's like we know that that he asked for him. It's his time, and it's we never want to question it. But there's times when you're like, damn, like, why him?
Why?
Like,
Yep.
and it's this sucked. Like, this sucked. Just like as SP just said, just our deepest condolences for sure to his wife and little girl. Like it was like, oh my god, like I mean, what else? What else is like, what else is gonna happen this year, man? Like what else? Like
I mean, the bright side in all of this, like we've all said, is that he went out a hero. Like he gave up his life for his son, and all we can do is really honor him and respect him for the decision that he made in giving up his life for his son, because it's very much honorable in that fact.
Mm-hmm.
Being as I met Chad around the WrestleMania 35 weekend, got to interact with him at the Bullet Club block party, as well as at Legends during the viewing party for WrestleMania 35. Got to do all those promos against him. Honestly, it's probably one of the best things I've done since I've started doing the podcast, the YouTube channel, is being able to interact with him, JTG. Of course, we've had Glenn Ford over on the YouTube channel as well. So, the whole reason that we've been able to connect with someone like him is because of Chad. So we owe a lot to Chad. So we want to give our deepest condolences, our prayers to his family, to all of his friends. And definitely we're going to say a prayer for him tonight. And this episode, Tru Heel Heat 75, is dedicated to Shad Gaspard. All right.
Wonderful. Let's cheers to him, guys.
Cheers. Absolutely. And I need to catch myself because I was in like severely deep thought of my own. I accidentally said girl, and I was just in such deep thought with mine that it transferred my knowledge for like a split second. So I apologize about that. It would just it's a hard moment. This is something hard to talk about. And as you said, going out a hero, it's like you wouldn't have it any other way, but it's like, why?
Yeah.
Hey, wouldn't have it any other way. Like, sorry to start off the show with a little bit of a somber note, but we had to address it. We had to get that out the way. But
yeah, you had no choice.
That was our guy, man. That was our dude, man. I'm sorry. Yeah. That was our dude.
But for the viewers, we are here to bring some light. There's been a lot of talk about tragedies, whether from the past or even the present, like we just talked about. So we are here as your wrestling family, your wrestling friends, to put a smile back on your face and talk about all the wrestling that keeps us interested, that keeps us loving this business. So, of course, like always, before you do anything, consider this your reminder. Push that like button, push the subscribe button, and stay notified for all the great content right here on Tru Heel Heat. And of course, put your comments down below because we love to interact with our viewers. So we got to start off every Tru Heel Heat, as we always start off, with our Tru Heel roll call. Once again, we are talking to you, the viewers, the supporters of Tru Heel Heat, all of our subscribers here on YouTube, as well as on Anchor and wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Our top 3 conversation starters from the Tru Heels group page is coming in at number 3, our New Japan aficionado, James Wims. Now, after like 20 straight weeks, we have a change to the top 3.
They
have shuffled the order. Coming in at number 2 is the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson.
No.
Wait. Hold on. So you get on the show and now you too big to start conversations like that? Now you come on by request. I feel you. I feel the strategy.
But you're gonna laugh because of the person who is number 1, because he doesn't even have that much time, because he's always on this YouTube channel, it seems, especially this week. The host of the Romeo Report, the co-host of True Rewind, our number 1 conversation starter on the Tru Heels group page is Romeo Anthony Colon.
Wow. He kept talking about Charlotte.
Like he's a reporter, for fuck's sakes, and then he spent the entire week on podcasts. Nick, come on, bro. Come on,
Nick. You got to get it together. We're calling you out, Nick. You were on Tru Heel Heat 73, and now you're number 2 on the conversation starters. Come on, man.
He's starting to become too heavily demanded. He's becoming too heavily demanded. We need you back, man. You know where you started. We need you back.
We need you back there. And a couple of Tru Heels we got to shout out. Armchair John from the Armchair Bookers podcast. Jason Goodman. Alex Owens, one of our OGs from the Tru Heels page. Tom Walter Hartnell, Daniel Carey, Nathan Terry, and a couple of our YouTube subscribers we got to shout out. Aizen Bo, he had a lot to say about The Undertaker, The Last Ride review. Apparently, he agreed with me a lot during that documentary and during our review. And so you guys know, we need you guys to go out there and like that video because that's one of our most unliked videos ever. I wonder why.
What?
People love my opinion on The Undertaker. But it's also one of our most viewed videos. So we want to thank you guys who went out and checked out that Undertaker The Last Ride Chapter 2 episode review. Over 600 views within 2 days. So definitely want to thank you guys for your support on that one. And B Mills is our other YouTube subscriber that we got to shout out. So what we missed over on SmackDown with the Lynches, that's up right now on our YouTube channel. Krssi and the Lynches, you guys had to talk about WWE's attempt to ruin Otis. How did you guys feel about that?
I was say you have to watch the video because my house loves Otis. So
Your house loves Otis, but Otis is the genuine good guy. Why?
He really is.
Why did Otis have Mandy come down to the ramp, distract Braun Strowman so he can act like he was about to attack Braun Strowman in the back? Otis Dojovic, who can't even attack a fly from behind, is gonna attack Braun Strowman.
I couldn't tell you. He was just like, oh, my bad, Big Daddy Braun. That's his name now, Big Daddy Braun.
Big Daddy Braun.
Still a joke. It's still a joke.
Over on Raw, Drew McIntyre beat King Corbin in the first matchup of the brand-to-brand invitation. And as he prepares for his next matchup, he will be versing Lashley at WWE Backlash. Edge versus Randy Orton was made official. And yes, it will be the greatest match, the greatest wrestling match ever. I
love the sound effects, friend.
Got to.
These taglines, Joe. Like,
they love them. They love the taglines. What can you say?
I don't know.
Austin Theory is out of Selena Vega's group, but now he is a disciple of Seth Rollins.
Great move.
It was. I was like, this is an awesome move. This makes more sense than him in the Selena group. And then Kevin Owens, he returned to Monday Night Raw as well. NWA Carneyland debuted this week, and it introduces a whole new lineup, a weekday lineup to NWA's YouTube channel. And then Dark Side of the Ring, you gotta check out our thoughts on Dark Side of the Ring, the final days of Owen Hart, the season 2 finale. It is me, Krssi Love, as well as Top Guy JJ finally joins us for a season 2 review, as well as number 1 conversation starter Romeo Colon. We are all up on there, so definitely check that out. But we can tell you that did get the highest ratings of season 2 and the highest rating of any show ever on Vice with 349 for that episode.
Any show on Vice, even Jesus and Mero? Wow.
Yes. The highest rated show in Vice history, the highest rated episode of season 1 or season 2 for Dark Side of the Ring. And we got to get into our top news. Our top news story for this week is another addition to the long list of WWE superstars that have left the company in 2020. We've started off with, I think it was Luke Harper. Luke Harper was one of the first superstars. We then had Broken Matt Hardy. We had The Revival. We had the long list of people that were released on Black Wednesday a number of weeks ago. And now we can add to the list Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak's WWE contract expired over the weekend. He's apparently, the latest superstar to join that long list. He just competed on Friday Night SmackDown against Daniel Bryan in a very good competitive matchup, a part of the Intercontinental title tournament. Apparently, the whole issue between him and WWE has to do with money. Drew wanted a raise, which WWE could not meet, of course, during these current times. Wrestling Observer did report that the contract negotiations between WWE and Drew Gulak are not a dead issue, so they may continue in the future, but for now, he is no longer with the company. So, Top Guy JJ, we'll kick it over to you first. What are your thoughts on the sudden departure of Drew Gulak?
unfortunate. Like I find it to be unfortunate because he was he's been with the company for a number of years, and he wasn't really that relevant, especially when the Cruiserweight Classic started and all these other little tournaments was going on with the cruiserweights. He really started to get some momentum going over the past year or so. Like he's really been stepping his name up, his game up, his wrestling. His promos have been actually way underrated. He's been delivering some pretty stellar stuff, and he's starting to get some steam. So it's kind of unfortunate to see somebody on the come up not get what they feel they deserve, because he's gonna be somebody that's gonna be very interesting on the market. Like he's gonna gain a lot of attention because his potential hasn't even been tapped yet.
Yeah.
Well, how about you, Miss Krssi Love? You got to see his final matchup in the WWE on SmackDown this week.
Like JJ said, we just now starting to see what Drew Gulak can give, and it's unfortunate that he is a star and he's a good wrestler, and I'm sure they'll probably try to get him back. If not, the other someone else will try to swoop him up, which will be a great thing on their end, because he's a good wrestler and he can give killer promos, as JJ said. So it's unfortunate. I was, intrigued to see where else he would be going. The whole thing with him and Daniel Bryan was cool. That match he had on Friday night was great. However, it's unfortunate, and I wish him nothing but the best. And I hope that, maybe he can find what he needs in better pastures. If not, then he'll, come back. But, we'll see.
So where do you guys see him going next? I've heard people say the rumor that we'll talk about, we're going to talk about at the end of the show, the AEW Double or Nothing full card to you guys. We're going to break down the whole card and give you our predictions. And a lot of people have been saying he might be the last entrant in the casino ladder match on Saturday.
I wouldn't be mad at that at all, to be honest. So it would be a good move for him. They would use him. He's a technical wrestler, so they would definitely he'd be able to be used over there.
JJ, where do you see Drew going?
There's a small piece of me that feels that I think that he would still try to rework it out with the WWE, because I still think he's got unfinished business there. But I think he's going to probably try to get a short-term deal with AEW in the meantime, because I think he's just out to get some money right now, and I think he needs to fulfill a contract. And he needs to get paid because he's been underpaid his whole career.
I don't see him going to AEW if his goal is just to be there short term before he goes back to WWE, because I don't see AEW making that decision. If it was someone who was like in talks with like a New Japan or ROH, it's more and more likely for them to bring them in short term for that before they would go back to WWE. I don't see them trying to help a guy that's on the lower end of the WWE card to come back with a little bit more momentum, but I can definitely see him in AEW. He's the type of guy that would fit, like Krssi Love said. So one person before we wrap this up, you would like to see outside of WWE, Drew Gulak go one-on-one with?
Outside of WWE?
Yep.
MJF.
Ah, okay.
I think that would be a great match.
I've been having my eye on a match like this forever. Him and Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's one that's happened before. I know in Evolve, because they both came up in the Evolve system, but that's one that would definitely be a great one. I would say Drew Gulak versus Minoru Suzuki.
Wow.
Gulak is hard-hitting, Gulak is technical, and ain't nobody more technical and hard-hitting than Minoru Suzuki. Everyone's favorite Japanese grandfather.
And that's the unfortunate thing with Gulak, is because he's become so well-rounded. Like he is such an unpolished finish. Like he's still a diamond in the rough, I feel like.
He definitely is. So we definitely wish him success and hope for the best outside of WWE or even back in WWE. We got to move on to our next topic. This one is a very interesting one. It has to do with the Twitter machine, as Leo Rush and Mark Henry go at it in a Twitter war. On Twitter this week,
Right.
Leo Rush, who has done a number of different interviews as well as podcasts addressing his time in WWE, as well as his beef with Mark Henry in regards to his comments about Leo on Busted Open Radio. This was back when Leo Rush had his backstage rumors about him having heat backstage with officials. Basically, Mark Henry said that he went up to Leo and basically asked him if he need any help, and Leo just said, "Nah, I'm good," basically, and said that he didn't need any help and kind of blew Mark Henry off, even though he did need the help because he had heat backstage. Leo took to Twitter this week to address the rumors and to get his side of the story out. Mark responded on Busted Open, addressing his issues and discussing his conversation backstage in WWE, which caused this whole rift between Henry and Rush. So, do you guys think that Mark Henry was wrong in addressing his private conversation on the radio show Busted Open Radio with Tim and Leo Rush? Because that kind of feels like that's the spark to this whole issue between the two men. We'll start off with you, Miss Krssi Love.
So Leo's mad because a conversation that was had between him and Mark Henry, Mark spoke about it on a podcast. Is that what it is?
Well, basically, he started disparaging him, saying that Leo lied to him and that Leo basically, Leo Rush basically at the time was complaining that he wasn't getting paid enough, that he didn't have money for like his travel and stuff like that. And like Mark Henry basically told him to stop whining and when he was on the radio show, as well as telling about the private conversation that they had backstage.
I mean, if someone is trying to help you and guide you, I mean, it's something that, you could have, try to like heed message from a legend that knows and understands the whole premise of what you're doing right now and has been in your shoes. It's unfortunate he shouldn't have maybe spoke about it. Like, it's like pillow talk almost. It's like, we had a conversation. Now you're like telling everybody. So maybe Mark should have like kept this conversation disclosed, and Leo has the right to now give his perspective and what happened, because now you've basically spoke out about our conversation. So now you're giving me leeway to now give out how I'm feeling. Like, I'm good. And I guess that's what Leo was, basically telling him. It's unfortunate. I mean, Mark probably should have kept it shut, but hey, that's what ratings are for, I guess, huh?
That's what radio shows are gonna happen on. So what about you? What about you, JJ?
I think it's just more of annoyance. It's really annoying because it's there's not, obviously we have a limited amount of African American wrestlers. There's not that many, and then you kind of confide, these conflicts. Is like now we don't got that many in there. Now the brothers are conflicting against each other, and it's like it's like anything that they can get their hands on to feel like it's like, because we got to be at a better standard than the standard to make it in these places, and it's now it's like, oh, now it's two brothers that don't know how to act. It doesn't. It kind of, it's like I don't even. It's like I don't even care about who's right or who's wrong here. But obviously the opinion is Mark Henry should have just, he's a part of the media now.
Yeah,
he's a member of the media, so he's gonna talk about conversations that he had, and that's the thing that the young wrestler like Leo Rush needs to start to understand, because Leo Rush is still in his 20s.
Yeah.
So, he's a young kid. So he's not going to be in the same field as Mark Henry when it comes to just knowledge and what he's going to do with that conversation. So, like I said, it's just unfortunate on all sides. And why it has to be two brothers, I can't stand it. It's just beyond me. Like, it's freaking annoying.
Well, it just has to do, like, Lee went on a whole campaign over the week, kind of just going on Twitter talking about how like the older black wrestlers in wrestling are not always supportive, and they try to like keep you down, and he feels like Mark played a role in the reason why he's no longer with the company.
And that's the problem. And now, even if it's true or not, people are looking for any kind of clout they can get. So if they could get their hands on a story and then, give us less opportunities to make it here, like we don't have that many people in the business to begin with. And then now here's another potential dark cloud over it for the most unnecessary fucking reasons.
Yeah.
But Mark Henry's in the job of media, and Mark Henry needs to understand that he's in the job of the media as one of the very few black men that is in the media for wrestling.
That's also true. So, do you guys think that they can come to any type of resolution in regards to this, especially with considering everything that's going on in the world, everything that's going on in the wrestling community, especially this week? Do you think they can come to that resolution?
I'm sure they can. I mean, it's unfortunate that we have two brothers, and getting the knowledge that he can get from this person would have been beneficial. But I guess he didn't see it that way. He sees it that Mark was trying to come for him. Maybe, who knows? But I would hope that they can get to a common ground and talk about it and get back together and just do this thing. Support our black wrestlers.
Facts. I think only for the cause of if they meet in person. I don't think this can happen over text messaging or phone call. I think they have to see each other in person and hash it out. I think they gotta hash it out. Like I think they gotta hash it out. Like they're not gonna be able to. One is too egotistical and one is set in his ways. Obviously, so I don't think that a conversation or text is gonna do it. They gotta talk to each other.
Yeah, man.
I can agree with you guys there on that one. So hopefully they come to some type of resolution, because especially with what we've known about this week as far as like the wrestling community, we got to stay together,
man.
especially us of color. So
that's what's annoying. It's just annoying. That's why it's just annoying.
It's life, and that's the wrestling business.
Yeah.
Week 32 of the Wednesday Night War. This is the time of Tru Heel Heat you guys all been waiting for, where we give you the ratings for the Wednesday Night War between WWE NXT and AEW Dynamite. We give you the ratings for the week. We break down what happened on both shows, and we tell you what we thought was the better show for the week. So, for week 32 of the Wednesday Night War, Krssi Love, you want to do a drum roll again?
Sure, I was about to.
AEW Dynamite with 701,000 viewers to WWE NXT's 592.
Not surprised.
This is actually the first time that NXT is under 600,000 viewers in a number of weeks. AEW won in the 18 to 49 key demo as well. On WWE NXT, Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai battled it off in the main event. They had a very good match, which of course was ended by another crap finish with Charlotte Flair getting involved. Riddle versus Timothy Thatcher for next week in a cage fight. That's going to be very interesting. Yeah. Karrion Kross versus Tommaso Ciampa, as well as Finn Balor versus Damian Priest for TakeOver in Your House. Yeah, she's very excited for the TakeOver in Your House. She didn't want to talk about last week.
No. I'm not excited about in your house. I'm excited about that match.
It's a match. It's a match on the show. Just saying.
Whatever.
Jade.
Hijo del Fantasma beats Tozawa to win Group B, and Jake Maverick ties things up by rolling up Kushida in Group A of the best.
I thought he was fired. I'm confused.
Next week,
of course he does.
Next week it will be Drake Maverick versus Jake Atlas versus Kushida in a triple threat match, with the winner winning Group A to verse Helio del Fantasma in the finals of the best of the Super Cruisers.
I'm just confused.
AEW Dynamite. It was a night of injuries galore.
Oh my God! Yes.
Dr. Britt Baker goes down with a knee injury. Phoenix hurts its hip. Matt Jackson has bruised ribs or torn cartilage on the go home Dynamite. Phoenix versus Orange Cassidy, as well as Sammy Guevara versus Broken Matt in very fun matchups. Moxley breaks number 10's arm trying to get back his title from Mr. Brody, and the Young Bucks, and the longest clothesline in the history of professional wrestling as Hangman Page runs 100 yards in cowboy boots to give his buckshot lariat to the Inner Circle in return to AEW Dynamite. So we'll start off with you, Miss Krssi Love. What was the better show for the week, in your opinion?
Better show. I mean, neither show was great, but better show was AEW for sure. They had to send off to get a powerful show for their upcoming pay-per-view, which is Saturday, so they had to go with the wheels like rolling really fast. It's unfortunate that it sucks that so many people got injured on last night. I was like, damn, like once you saw Britt, then you see, I was like, damn, like they can't get a, like, what's going on? But the ending of the show was great. Classic. Loved it.
JJ, how about you? What was the better show for the week in your opinion?
I was a little bit back and forth. Listen, I'm just saying, when you start NXT off with that entrance, they already got the leg up on the show to begin with. Like,
yeah, that's
best entrance in the game, and then it kind of goes downhill from there for NXT.
Yeah,
You can't start off that good and then have subpar shit throughout. I definitely go with AEW again. Another fun show. Like, AEW just feels like they're just clicking on cylinders right now. Like they just got the wheels rolling, they got the ball moving, and they're just firing. Like they're firing. It feels like a good wrestling product. It just feels like a fun show. Like this is what you're supposed to get on a weekly basis. It's fun shows, compelling story, and NXT is just not doing it for me. Like they're just not. I'm not connected with NXT. Like it's something that's just not doing it there for me. Like the matches seem decent. That I don't even want to get into that Velveteen Dream elbow drop that was double cut and triple cut to make sure it looked good on Adam Cole. Like, oh, come on, man! Like you guys can't even do moves. Like this shit is killing me. Like NXT is just not my vibe right now.
Killing your vibes, friend.
All day.
It was a little closer for me this week than the last couple of weeks. NXT was a good show in my opinion. I liked the Drake Mavericks versus Kushida match. That was my favorite match of the night. I loved everything about the Karrion Kross, Scarlett, Tommaso Ciampa segment. The match put over Karrion Kross. The promo segment, Tommaso Ciampa, that's the most he's put over anybody. And Tommaso Ciampa does do a great job of putting over his opponent, so it means something when he beats them. But he did a great job of putting over Karrion Kross in that promo, so I loved everything about that. I really
I love that Scarlett opened the ring for him. He's like, "You sure?" He's like, that was great. I thought that was awesome, to be honest.
I really liked the main event between Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai for two women that this was their first time going against each other. They went out there and had a very good match. And that's why I was very upset with the shit finish, because Charlotte Flair, you should be smarter. Don't you know when your two top contenders have a singles match and you interfere, you're just setting yourself up for a triple threat, you idiot. God damn it. I hate when heels are stupid. So that just pissed me off a little bit. But other than that, I liked NXT a lot, but I'm giving the edge to AEW. I would say NXT had my vote for this week until that final segment. Segment, Sammy versus Broken Matt was probably Sammy's best performance in ring of AEW Dynamite's run. He just went out there. He showed babyface fire in that match. And I love the fact, I talk about it on the All Elite recap. You could definitely check that out. It's probably up on our YouTube channel right now. And I talk about how the whole match had to do with the fact that last week, Sammy Guevara had the best sell to the Twist of Fate ever. So they basically said to each other backstage, this is how the talk went before the match. Sammy, you probably did the Rock stunner cell to my Twist of Fate. How about we make the whole match about you taking the Twist of Fate? Literally a minute into the match, Sammy reverses the Twist of Fate. Then Sammy takes the Twist of Fate, he rolls out of the ring. Then he takes another Twist of Fate, he kicks out. Then he reverses the Twist of Fate, reverses again.
Yeah.
Then he finally gets another one, and that's the end of the match. Just perfect storytelling. It was Broken Matt Hardy's best one-on-one match that I've seen of Broken Matt Hardy in quite some time. And showed out in that matchup. And then the post-match, AEW, they have 1,000% when it comes to go home pay-per-view segments. They just know how to sell you on buy the pay-per-view, and this sell was, this Stadium Stampede is going to be insane. You need to buy the pay-per-view because you just saw a man run 100 yards in cowboy boots and just did a clothesline. Like Hangman Page got me hyped for the pay-per-view. I'm glad he's back. I'm glad the Young Bucks are back. AEW wins for the week.
They're not doing any type of social distancing at all at AEW. Yet again, they have a crowd there. It's like the only thing that's
Hey,
close to having something entertaining to us. That feels like
I think that's why Jim Ross clearly said. I think that's why Jim Ross clearly said that everybody's been tested.
I know you're not talking about social distancing with your man Dexter Loomis being Mr. Anti-social distancing, cuddling other men.
no, whatever, friend.
Dexter fucking creep. He's a
Creepy.
creep.
Wow,
He's a
This-
creep.
this is
And
not
he
even
might
necessary.
have
Friend.
the
This is not even
worst.
all about.
He might have the worst music in the entire NXT. Like, good lord, that shit is awful.
Creepy Loomis.
Listen, I don't know. I can't tell you. And then shout out to AEW for also sending their condolences to Shad's family as well.
Both
Plus,
shows did
yeah.
a great job at that. Both shows
Yes.
did a good job at it. Both shows. So NXT opened up with the picture vignette and little
Mhm.
mention. Yeah, they both did a great job at making sure that his name was acknowledged.
Exactly. Bravo to both of them.
Yes, we got to show our respect to them for doing that because that was definitely a nice thing to do for Chad's family. So WWE news last week tonight with John Oliver addresses and heavily criticizes both WWE and AEW for running empty arena shows during the pandemic. You can check that out. That's over on YouTube as well as on HBO on demand. The Undertaker's new deal with WWE, which started in April 2019, is reportedly a lifetime deal for 15 years, which will allow The Undertaker to end his career with the company whenever that may be.
Wait.
Why?
Wait. No. Hold on, Krssi. What are your thoughts on this?
On him being like,
No, I want to hear SP3's comments on The Undertaker's lifetime contract. He's going to be in WrestleMania until 2035.
I don't
He'll have
understand.
a match at WrestleMania 50.
Yeah, he will. You know what? Just as old as he will, he'll be in a damn wheelchair if he have to be there for Vince.
Like I can't even go in right now. Like I wish like JJ agreed with a lot of our fans when we first started doing this podcast. But literally, I told all our fans when we started doing this podcast, they was like, "Oh, he's just coming back for one more match at WrestleMania 34." I was like,
No, he's coming back every year.
You're an enabler. If he comes back this time, he's going to keep coming back. He's going to keep coming back. And literally, when we're doing the review for Chapter 2, me and Romeo both confirmed that Michelle McCool literally said a line that I said, that it's a vicious cycle of The Undertaker.
He's like the recycle.
so
He's like the recycle. He's like the recycle triangle. That shit is gonna keep pointing. Because when he has a great match, he's gonna have gas left in the tank. When he has a bad match, he has to have another match. When he has a decent match, he can be better. When like it just doesn't.
I can't wait to see Chapter 3 when they talk about that bullshit ass match they had with Triple H and Shawn. Because that was garbage.
This might be a fucking nightmare for SP.
It sounds like they're going to be honest about that. So you can check that out. We're going to be doing our Chapter 3 review this weekend. So definitely check that out up here on the YouTube channel. And if you haven't already, if you've gotten this far into this podcast, into this video, push that like button. Make sure you're pushing the like button. It helps the YouTube channel grow. It helps the YouTube algorithm so other wrestling fans can check out this Tru Heel Heat content and push that subscribe button for more Tru Heel Heat. But yes, other WWE news, the brand-to-brand invitation rules have been revealed. Superstars are allowed on other brands only 4 times per year. 4 times. The symbol of excellence. 4 times a year.
What?
Only 4 times a year they're allowed on other brands. Impact.
Who the fuck is going to keep track?
Right, like I'm confused. So it was like if Nia Jax goes to SmackDown once, so and then she only got like 3 more chances to go.
You gonna have a chart?
Yeah, they literally said that when Charlotte was on SmackDown this week. They said she only has 3 more times she can be on SmackDown this year.
That went over my head. I don't know. Sorry.
So this is what we're here for. This is what the news section is here for. We're here for
So,
to fill in the blanks for stuff that you missed.
So will Friday count as her number 2?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because she has a match for Bailey.
Yep. Guess she has us 2 more times for the year.
They're gonna change it again.
That's not even happening.
Let's just stop. Let's just stop. Let's just stop.
Impact Wrestling news. Michael Elgin moves on in the number 1 contenders tournament, defeating Sami Callihan on Impact. Check out Chris G and Mary Jane with Blunt Impact this week, where he reviews the whole thing. Carl Anderson announces that he and Luke Gallows will no longer be using the Too Sweet sign now that he is no longer with WWE. He doesn't want to promote it because it gives WWE money, apparently. So, fair enough. All right.
Really?
Yeah, because they own the symbol.
They own that. Yeah, they own that shit.
Yep.
That's NWO, baby, for life.
Exactly.
Damn, son.
So finally, we gotta end off this episode of Tru Heel Heat 75 with AEW Double or Nothing. It's been 1 year since the inaugural pay-per-view for AEW Double or Nothing in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, this year won't be in Las Vegas. It's gonna be in Jacksonville, Florida, empty arena style. We're going to start in at the buy-in, the pre-show at 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, May 23rd. The buy-in is going to be main evented by a number 1 contenders at AEW tag team title matchup, as it's going to be Private Party versus Best Friends, with the winner getting a shot at Hangman Page and Kenny Omega, the AEW tag team champions. Who you got? Private Party or Best Friends? Private Party has been away during this whole quarantine, but they have had their own feud on BTE with Hangman Pussy Pants Page, as they call him, that. And Best Friends have honestly, in my opinion, been the best act in AEW since this whole empty arena format has started. They are kind of the act that you would think would not be able to translate in an empty arena that has kind of elevated their act even more. So Best Friends versus Private Party, Miss Krssi Love.
I was gonna say Private Party.
Private Party for this one. I like it. Top guy JJ.
This might have been the hardest one to call.
Yeah. Definitely is though.
I'm gonna lean towards Best Friends for this one. I think the Best Friends got to get that push that they haven't received yet since this company started.
That makes sense. That's a good one, friend.
I'm going to agree with you. Best Friends has the momentum, and I believe that they are going to have a great match with Private Party, and they will also have a great match with Hangman and Kenny Omega. So I'm going for the Best Friends in this one. Next up, we got the main card, the pay-per-view card just announced. This was announced this week on the Shawn Spears Network. Shawn Spears has challenged Dustin Rhodes to a one-on-one matchup. Shawn Spears has been basically taunting Dustin Rhodes ever since he got eliminated from the TNT Championship tournament, and taunting Cody as well, saying that he let his brother be attacked by Lance Archer and be murdered. So Shawn Spears versus Dustin Rhodes. Who you got in this one? Top guy JJ.
I can't believe this was literally, I think, Shawn Spears' best promo since he's been a professional wrestler. Like this shit was fucking awesome. Like he broke the news that Dustin retired and then challenges him to a match.
Yep.
Like, Troll Game was on 100.
Go into business for yourself.
Yo, Troll Game was on 100. So I'm definitely going with Shawn Spears to pick up a big pay-per-view win here, because that promo was money.
Who you got, Krssi?
I'm definitely going with Shawn. Dustin will be able to give him a good match and put him over, and that promo that he gave will definitely make him go over very good. So Shawn.
I just always feel like Shawn Spears is always going to come up short ever since I predicted him to win at All Out versus Cody. So I'm going to go with Dustin Rhodes in this one.
Yeah, he ain't wrong for going with Shawn. I'm with Dustin, because Shawn he's let us up here and just bam, done.
I mean, hopefully it's different this time.
So unfortunately, the main card is down one matchup. I don't believe Dr. Breaker DMD is going to go one-on-one with Chris Statlander. So we won't do our predictions for that one, unfortunately. I'm sorry, guys. But we will talk about the Casino Ladder match, probably one of the more anticipated matchups for this Saturday, as it's going to be Darby Allin versus Colt Cabana versus Orange Cassidy versus Phoenix versus Scorpio Sky versus Kip Sabian versus Frankie Kazarian versus Luchasaurus versus a mystery participant. This is going to start off with two men in the ring. At any moment, any man can climb up the ladder to grab the chip that gives them a guaranteed shot at the AEW Championship title. But every 90 seconds, a new participant will join the fray until all 9 men are in the ring. So, who you got in this one, the Casino Ladder match? Who's going to be the number one contender for the AEW Championship?
I'm going with Darby Allin.
Your boy, Darby.
Yep, that's what I'm going with. He'll probably lose against John Moxley, but that's what I'm going against.
Top guy, JJ.
Oh man, I see a curveball happen, and I wanted to go Darby Allin so bad with you. I want it to be Darby.
You want it? Okay.
I have a feeling. Fresh Squeeze is gonna luck his way into this title match.
God.
I would love that. I am going to go. I was going to go with Phoenix before he won his matchup on Dynamite against Orange Cassidy. I really want to say that it might be the mystery contestant, maybe. But I feel like there's a reason why we got to see these vignettes. And the one thing that I know with AEW, there's symmetry, where something happened before which didn't really make sense to you, but it makes sense in retrospect after they do something. So I am going to call it here. Scorpio Sky wins the Casino Ladder match. He just did those vignettes, hyping him up. John Moxley just went one-on-one with Frankie Kazarian, the number one contender for the AEW title, just beat Christopher Daniels. The only member of SCU that hasn't jobbed anytime soon is Scorpio Sky. So Scorpio Sky, I think, is going to win the Casino Ladder match.
Okay.
I would tell you something. As I would love to be wrong on this pick just because of the Scorpio Sky. And I would love it. Love it.
Absolutely. So next up, we got one-on-one. This one is one of the more anticipated matchups, as well as it's two of the young stars of AEW going at it, as is MJF going one-on-one with Jungle Boy. If you haven't already, I will say for Krssi Love, for Top Guy JJ, and for you watching at home, one of my biggest disappointment with AEW Dynamite this week is that on AEW Road to Double or Nothing on their YouTube channel, they have one of the best MJF promos hyping up this matchup. MJF is sitting in a throne. He talks about how Jungle Boy has fooled the fans. The fans think he's so humble. They think he's so nice, but he comes from a rich family. He comes from the family of Luke Perry. So he is just like MJF, except MJF is honest about the scumbag and the jerk that he is, and Jungle Boy is just lying to the people. It's one of the best promos MJF has cut, so go out your way and watch that. But this one has got me hyped for this matchup. Who you got? MJF versus Jungle Boy. Top Guy JJ.
Oh my God, MJF all the way, because MJF is going to be the hero. MJF, he's gonna be a hero for the liars. You listen, live your life and stop lying. He's here to save us all, and he's better than us, and we all know it.
He's saving us from the lies.
This is like a landslide. MJF is definitely gonna take this one he's gonna take this one home.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely MJF. He's gonna save us from the liar that Jungle Boy is. You're a liar. So yeah, definitely MJF all the way.
So this was my bold prediction on All Elite recaps. I will repeat it here. Jungle Boy will be the first man to defeat MJF in All Elite Wrestling.
Because MJF
can get his heat back. MJF can lose and then talk a promo on Wednesday, and nobody will even remember that he lost. But Jungle Boy needs this win more than any win he has gotten in All Elite Wrestling. So Jungle Boy gets the upset win here.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see.
Well, we got next
Word.
up. AEW Women's Championship is going to be on the line. It's a no disqualification, no countouts matchup, as it's going to be Nyla Rose defending against Hikaru Shida. This has been building for a number of weeks as Hikaru
She's
Shida
so
has...
boring.
Huh?
She's so boring.
Who?
Nyla Rose.
I wouldn't say that.
Got your kendo stick, bitch.
Exactly. That was great. I love that. I laughed and I laughed.
Right, but that's the only thing. Like, she hasn't done anything like that's remotely like. I don't know. I'm not excited. I'm not. I was excited when she won, but I'm still not like. I don't know. I don't feel anything. Okay, go ahead, friend. I'm sorry.
There was a pandemic, so that might be why you haven't seen her like that. The pandemic literally happened like 6 days after she defended the title for the first time.
Okay, sure.
But who you got? Nyla Rose versus Hikaru Shida, Miss Krssi Love.
I don't see Nyla losing, so.
So you got Nyla winning.
Yeah. Even if she's boring.
Top guy JJ, who you got?
You can already see that this is going to be her AEW version of Ronda Rousey.
Wow. That's not even right, friend. That's not true.
Love, like the hate, like not like what the hate on Nyla Rose?
I'm not hating on her. I just haven't felt anything from her yet.
And we felt something from her lame ass opponent.
Wow. I mean,
number one.
Oh
no.
Yeah. That's right. I'm defending Nyla Rose right now.
You defend Nyla without insulting Hikaru Shida.
You know what? That's why we true heels. Damn it, Nyla Rose is gonna wash her.
I love Hikaru Shida. She's been one of the biggest surprise in AEW to me. I feel like this tag team match this past week on Dynamite was 4 of the 5 most over females in AEW, along with Riho. But I don't see it being Shida's time just yet. I think Nyla gets the victory here. So we got
that to agree with me.
Huh?
All of that to agree with me.
I agree with Krssi. I don't agree with you. I agree with Krssi. I just said that. Anyway, AEW TNT
It gives me all of a slack about like saying my opinion. I don't get it.
TNT Championship Title Tournament Finals, as it's going to be Cody going one-on-one with Lance Archer. Cody got here by defeating Shawn Spears as well as Darby Allin, while Lance Archer defeated Colt Cabana and his brother, Cody's brother, Dustin Rhodes. So this has been building for a number of weeks, as it was Jake the Snake Roberts that brought the Murder Hawk Lance Archer into AEW and challenged Caesar, as he called him, Cody. We saw the face-to-face this past week on Dynamite between the coaches, Arn Anderson and Jake the Snake Roberts, which had nothing to do with this matchup at all. But I won't get into that too much. We get into that a little bit more on only recap, where they just went off the rails on that one. But this one has been building for a number of weeks. Of course, it was Jake that put the snake on Cody's wife, Brandy, which makes this a little bit more personal. So who you got? Who's going to be the first ever TNT champion? Is it going to be Cody or Lance Archer? Top guy, JJ.
I mean, I feel a little resentment towards my early prediction from a few Tru Heel Heats ago, but I'm sticking to my guns with Lance Archer. I have picked Lance Archer from the start of this tournament to main event this with Cody, and I'm going with Lance Archer in a controversial finish with the assist of Jake the Snake Roberts to become the first TNT champion.
So you're saying Cody still can't get the belt in his own company?
Nah, he can. He got to chase it again.
Krssi, who you got?
This one is a hard one. I see Cody being on top, getting redemption for his wife, so I think Cody might win.
Honestly, I think This one in MJF and Jungle Boy is like a
The
toss up
hardest one, yeah.
where no, not even like it's like the hardest one. It's just a toss up where either guy can win, and I could see it being the right decision.
Okay.
There's not a lot of matches in professional wrestling, period, that if you book it on pay-per-view, that fans will be okay going either way. And I feel like those are two matches which either way they're going to be in the good. Finally, Cody wins the big one in AEW, winning the TNT Championship, or Murder Hawk Lance Archer continues his war of dominance. But I agree. I'm going to say it this time. I agree with Top Guy JJ that Cody will be better. Cody will be better in chasing role, and I feel like a lot of this rivalry has been thrown together. I talk about that on the All Elite recap with Jimmy and Cash. A lot of this rivalry has been thrown together ever since the end of the tournament. It feels like very rushed. So I feel like there's still meat on the bone for them to continue it. So the only way they can do that is with Lance Archer getting the victory here. So I got Lance winning.
I'm just saying, for the start of this tournament, my man SP picked Darby Allin and Cody to main event this thing. Whatever his pick is,
I didn't.
He picked Cody. He picked Cody to win.
No, I didn't.
He picked Cody to.
No, I didn't. I actually picked Darby and Lance Archer. Correct it, and I'm actually gonna have Romeo or Johnny actually put in the specific clip where I said this. Archer and Darby, because I never said Cody and Darby because they were on the same bracket.
Yes.
So
be bitter.
You spent all this time to be like, I was right, and you couldn't even get that right. Nice job,
I was still right. I picked the finals.
Wow.
I picked the finals, moron. Where's your Darby Allin now, fuckface?
Ooh, Jesus.
Where is he?
Oh, aggressive, guys. Come on.
Gonna win the casino ladder match.
Where's his coffin drop, fucker?
He's gonna win the casino ladder match according to Krssi Love. He's going for the bigger championship.
Wait, you didn't even pick Darby to win that match. No, you just have no belief in Darby Allin whatsoever, but you picked him to go to the TNT Championship Finals. Good job, sir.
To lose to Lance Archer. I still got the winner, right?
I'm still defend your own mistake.
I'm still picking the same winner, so thank you. Anywho, you're moving on. AEW World Championship matchup, as it's going to be Jon Moxley defending against Mr. Brody Lee, the Exalted One from the Dark Order. It was Brody Lee who debuted in AEW back in March and has been in a war of dominance, kind of proving himself to the Dark Order as the Exalted One, and he has stolen the AEW Championship, the big platinum, as Jon Moxley calls it, from the champion Jon Moxley. Over the last couple of weeks, been taunting him. 10 versus Jon Moxley recently on AEW Dynamite this past week. Moxley threatened to break his arm if Mr. Brody did not give him back the AEW Championship, and Mr. Brody said he was leaving. He said, "Go ahead and break it." Called his bluff.
Yeah.
And Jon Moxley broke 10's arm. So he's broken a high knight in the Dark Order's arm. He has his title stolen from him. So a lot of storyline juice behind this in a little bit of in only just like 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah. Honestly, this is one of the best built matchups for this entire pay-per-view. So we got to give it up for AEW for that one. So Top Guy JJ, Moxley versus Brody. Who you got?
That's also your AEW has made every match feel important. Like they have been doing such an amazing job over the course of this pandemic. So kudos to these motherfuckers because they're gonna nail it on Saturday. But going for the championship match, I'm definitely going with Jon Moxley to retain here. It's gonna be a highly contested match. Scary moment for Jon Moxley during the match, but I see Jon Moxley barely pulling this off once again.
Who you got, Krssi?
I have Jon Moxley winning. However, I feel like Homeboy is going to still have the belt and run away with it. I feel like he's going to win like maybe in like a disqualification. I don't feel like he's going to win clean. You know what I'm saying? I feel like some kind of way he's going to win and still be trying to fight for his belt.
I don't think there's going to be a DQ. I think that AEW is the type of promotion that knows how to book a winner and a loser without the loser looking like a loser. So I can
Mm.
see them
Okay.
putting over Brody in a loss, and then the Dark Order like attacking Jon Moxley to distract him long enough for Brody to take the title back. So to go along with your prediction, but yes, I do agree that I see Jon Moxley getting the victory here, getting the victory over Brody Lee. I would not be surprised if Brody Lee got the victory here, especially with my prediction of Scorpio Sky winning the Casino ladder match. I think it kind of fits in with the whole storyline of the Exalted One for Scorpio to be the next up to get a shot at the title. So it could work either ways, but it's going to be very interesting. And this is another matchup where I can see it going either way, and I don't see the fans being that angry going either way. But finally, what I am calling the main event of the evening, after what we saw 2 weeks ago.
How could you not?
After what we saw 2 weeks ago in that street fight between Broken Matt Hardy and Kenny Omega versus La Sex Gods, Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho, this is the biggest match of the night. This is the match that everyone, I am sure, is looking forward to. And this is probably going to be the match that everyone remembers from Double or Nothing, as it's going to be the Stadium Stampede. There will be a ring on the 50-yard line of the stadium in Jacksonville, right by Daly's Place, and there will be Falls Count Anywhere inside that arena, the Jaguars Arena in Jacksonville, as it's going to be Broken Matt Hardy teaming up with the members of the Elite, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and yes, Hangman Adam Page versus the Inner Circle, Le Champion Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, Jake Hager, and Proud and Powerful. A 5-on-5 match. Falls Count Anywhere in the stadium. This is going to be nuts. This is going to be insane. This is the gift to us fans. Since we didn't get to have Blood and Guts in March, we get this on pay-per-view this Saturday, May 23rd. Stadium Stampede. Miss Krssi Love, who you got? The Elite or the Inner Circle? I couldn't hear you.
I have the Elite taking this, friend, all the way. Elite. 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 Elite.
The Elite.
The Elite. Hell
La
yeah.
Champion is going to win, for sure.
Who you got, JJ?
And this is where the Elite starts to fall apart. This is where it starts to break down. There will, they have 37 storylines they're going to create out of the result of this match from the Elite alone. I see the Inner Circle defeating the Elite because of the Elite's own mistakes.
Yep.
I could see that, but I'm going to agree with Miss Krssi Love. I see the Elite getting the win. The sting to WCW of the Elite is Hangman Page. Hangman Page is the savior of the Elite, and I feel like because he is in this matchup, he is going to be the one that gets the victory here. And but I can see, I do agree with JJ on one point. I can see a number of different storylines coming out from this. I can see I could see a miscue with Hangman hitting a Broken Matt or a member of the Young Bucks. So there's many different ways that they can come out of this, but I feel like the Elite needs this victory. They have lost too many times to the Inner Circle over the last couple of weeks, and this is their time to get the big win on pay-per-view.
I'm telling you, if the Inner Circle wins, I'm getting those kicks, yo.
Which one? Oh, their sneakers on
They put those Inner Circle kicks on AEW Shop. Them shits is legit.
Of course you would. So we got a plug for our lineup up on our YouTube channel as we wrap up Tru Heel Heat 75. If you guys haven't already, if you weren't already thinking about it, go out your way and order AEW Double or Nothing this Saturday. I know I'm going to be watching it. The fellas over on the All Elite Recap are going to be watching it. And this weekend, we're actually going to have an All Elite Recap special edition for Double or Nothing, as it's going to be Jimmy, Cash, myself, and Romeo doing a roundtable for Double or Nothing this weekend. Up on the YouTube channel right now, we have our Season 2 finale review of Dark Side of the Ring, The Final Days of Owen Hart, with myself, Top Guy JJ, Miss Krssi Love, and Romeo. And all new SmackDown with the Lynches is also up right now, as well as new Dark Power, All Elite Recap, and a very special exclusive interview as it's Tru Heel's BTR Between the Ropes with AJ Krssi of MLW Major League Wrestling. He's one of the commentators, as well as he was on Tough Enough season, the Stone Cold season in 2011. So definitely check that out as we talk about his entire career. That's going to be up on our YouTube channel this weekend. And of course, we'll have a new edition of The Undertaker The Last Ride review this coming Sunday, and an all new True Rewind Monday Night Raw on Monday as well. And of course, we got to hype another True Rewind series as me and Krssi Love will review season 1 of Dark Side of the Ring. Are you ready for that, Miss Krssi?
I am ready. So are you going to be joining us for our review of the first episode of Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth, the Match Made in Heaven?
Absolutely. It was a thing of beauty to watch. Hell yeah. I would love to join you guys for that one. That was really, really fantastic watching that, and it was so refreshing.
So we're working.
Let's put you as a man on that video.
We'll have that up on the YouTube channel probably sometime next week, so you can definitely check that out as well. And an update, if you guys haven't already, you can check out, we have a very special video for you, the viewers, the subscribers of Tru Heel Heat. We've just eclipsed 450 subscribers for our YouTube channel. We're about at 461, 462 right now. So we're less than 40 subscribers away from 500 subscribers. So you guys do your part, like this video, push that subscribe button, share this video so more subscribers, more wrestling fans like yourself discovers all this great, consistent Tru Heel Heat content right here on Tru Heel Heat. So final plugs, Facebook, you can find us at Tru Heel Heat, as well as on Twitter and Instagram. The Tru Heels group page is Us All Up, as well as the Pro Wrestling Spotlight and Battle Club Pro. You can find them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Miss Krssi Love, Top Guy JJ, where can they find you?
I am the sensationalist Krssi Love. You can find me on Twitter, IGN, on Facebook, Miss Krssi Love _ or Krssi Love, or you can find me underneath my name, which is Crystal Lynch.
All right, and for myself, is Instagram is Tru Heel _ Top Guy JJ, and at Facebook, simply Justin Johnson.
And of course, you can listen to Tru Heel Heat on Anchor, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. If you're listening to us right now, push that subscribe button or that favorite button so you can be up to date and notified when the next Tru Heel Heat content hits your podcast feed. So, for the princess of all the Tru Heels, Miss Krssi Love. For the resident Tru Heel alcoholic, Top Guy JJ. It is me, your Tru Heel phenom SP3. Push that like button, push that subscribe button for more. For Tru Heel Heat 75 until Tru Heel Heat 76, we are signing off until next week.
Laters.